Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. One person has been killed and 4 injured in a Russian missile attack on Ukraine's capital. Kyiv's mayor said a 9-year-old girl was among the injured in the strikes, which occurred early on Wednesday. The Ukrainian military said it had shot down 6 of 7 ballistic missiles and 71 drones launched by Russia, which sparked several fires throughout the city. It comes after President Volodymyr Zelensky suggested Ukraine would be prepared to swap land with Russia in potential peace negotiations. There are fears about a possible resumption of the war in Gaza after Israel's Security Cabinet supported President Trump's demand for all remaining hostages to be returned on Saturday. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he had ordered troops to amass inside and around Gaza in response to Hamas's announcement that it was postponing freeing more hostages until further notice. Netanyahu did not specify whether he was demanding the release of all 76 remaining hostages or just the 3 due to be freed this Saturday. Hamas responded by saying it remained committed to the ceasefire deal and that Israel was responsible for any complications or delays. The UN says a former Bangladesh Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina, and her government tried to cling on to power using systematic, deadly violence against protesters that could amount to crimes against humanity. UN human rights investigators accused the deposed government of a brutal response to mass opposition last year, in which they said up to 1,400 people had been killed, mostly by security forces. The UN team said an official policy to attack and violently repress anti-government protesters had been directed by political leaders and senior security officials. Hasina, who had been in office for 15 years, fled by helicopter to India shortly before crowds stormed her residence last August.
Can I just ask you about your comments?
No comments, please.
Are you anti-Semitic? Did you kill patients at Bankstown?
2 Australian nurses have been suspended after a video appeared to show them threatening to kill Israeli patients and boasting about refusing to treat them. The man and woman, both employees at a Sydney hospital, are now being investigated by police. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese condemned the attack as sickening and shameful after it began circulating online. It comes less than a week after Australia passed tougher laws against hate crimes following a wave of high-profile anti-Semitic attacks.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think that I would be standing here with 2 staff of the New South Wales health system having said such horrendous things.
A truck cabin that was swallowed by a sinkhole in Japan 2 weeks ago has been located in a nearby sewer pipe. Drone images suggest that a human body is inside the cabin, but it is unclear if it is that of the truck's missing 74-year-old driver. The sinkhole, which now measures 40 metres in diameter, opened at a road intersection in Yashio City near Tokyo. Coca-Cola's chief executive says the company may have to sell more drinks in plastic bottles in the US if President Donald Trump's tariffs end up making aluminium cans more expensive. It comes after Mr. Trump ordered a 25% import tax on all steel and aluminium entering the US, which could drive up the price of canned food and drink items in the country. In December, the beverage giant scaled down its sustainability target of using 50% recycled materials in its packaging by 2030 to using 35 to 40% by 2035. Environmental groups have labelled Coca-Cola as the top global plastic polluter for 6 consecutive years.
Monty has won the working group 3 straight years.
And a giant schnauzer named Monty has been crowned Best in Show at the Westminster Kennel Club Dog Show, the most prestigious dog show in the US. After reaching the final 3 years in a row, Monty beat more than 2,500 canines to become the first giant schnauzer to take home the show's top prize.
Giant schnauzer.
Oh, Monty!
The dog club is the oldest in the US dedicated to showing dogs, with its annual show now in its 149th year, the second longest sporting event held in the US after the Kentucky Derby. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.